Hey friends, Benjamin here with Lean Strong Fitness and Wellness. Today I wanted to share the 5 things I did to lose about 5 pounds of fat. Honestly, probably a little bit more if you factor in the muscle I built on. So maybe 6 to 7 pounds of fat in the last month with almost no effort. So a really quick backstory is basically I set some New Year's resolutions, like I'm sure many of you did, and I figured it was time to get some of my shit together with some of these things. So I want to give you these 5 steps because they're things that you can do as well. And not only will you lose a little bit of fat, but you'll feel way, way better with almost no changes to your lifestyle. And that's really, really key. So, first thing I did was make sure that I got in full body strength training 3 days a week, no matter what. And I made those non negotiable times in my calendar. I only work out for about 30 to 35 minutes each time, so it's not a lot of time. My goal is I want to have my workout done, shower, and lunch in 60 minutes flat because that fits my current week. And in addition to that, on my off days, I also did some mobility. I've got a whole bunch of aches and pains, like many of you might have as well. And I'm not doing some mobility on a regular basis. My back hurts, my knee hurts, my shoulders hurt, and I just don't feel as good. I feel a lot creakier than I should be for my age. So, step one, full body strength training 3 days a week. And with that, on your off days, do a little bit of mobility. And honestly, I've been doing like hip flexor stretches and pec stretches and that type of stuff for 5 to 10 minutes in my office. So it doesn't even take any real effort. Sometimes I need a break anyway, so I might as well stretch. Second thing I did was I increased my protein. Protein is really critical for a whole bunch of functions in your body, but the main reason I did it is I wanted to be hungry less often. And if you eat more protein, you'll stay full for longer and you're less likely to snack. And as I'm sure you know, if you've watched any of my videos, you know I love Miss Vicky's salt and vinegar chips. If I'm hungry, I'm going to eat some damn chips, and I know they're not serving my goals. So the 2 ways I increase my protein is first, I made all my meals protein centric. And what that means is the first thing I do when it comes to a meal is I ask where's my source of protein. Next, I build my veggies around that, and then if needed, I add some carbs, which we'll get to in a minute. And the second thing I did is the first meal of the day for me is I have a smoothie with a double serving of the Lean Strong protein. So it gives me about 60 grams of protein. Plus, I have a couple egg bites, which are like eggs made in muffin tins with some veggies mixed in. They're super delicious. It means I get lots of protein for my first meal, keeps me full, gives me lots of energy throughout the day. It means I'm not snacking. Third thing I did is if you want to lose fat, you need to reduce your calories. So, in addition to increasing my exercise, I also decrease my calories a little bit. Now, I'm not tracking anything, I'm not weighing anything, I'm not doing anything crazy like that. It means it's super sustainable for me, so I'm not going to lose my progress. But I did reduce my calories in two important ways. First, I made sure to meal prep. So me and my wife make a bunch of meals on the weekend. It doesn't take very long, a couple hours to let the meals cook, and then we portion them into a bunch of Tupperware containers. So now when I need lunch, I just grab a meal out of the fridge, and it follows what I mentioned before about being protein centric with lots of veggies. But it makes it effortless. I don't have to think about what I have to eat. It takes me 2 minutes to heat it up in the microwave. And it means I've got roughly the same amount of calories each day, which is really important. Because if some days you eat a lot and some days you eat a little, it's hard to tell where you're making progress because it's inconsistent. Now I'm consistently eating not the same thing every day, but about the same amount of food every day. And the second piece to reducing my calories is I did carbohydrate cycling, which is honestly a really fancy way of just saying on days I exercise, like the 3 days a week I do full body strength training, I eat more carbs. And the days I don't, I eat little to no carbs aside from fruit. So on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, when I work out, my meals will typically have some rice or pasta in them. On the days I don't work out, it's mostly protein and veggies. By reducing my carbs, because it's not about the carbs, I want to be clear, it's about the calories that come from those carbs. So on the days I don't work out, I just eat less carbs, which means I get less calories. And on the day I do, I need that extra fuel. So it makes it really easy to just get a bit more food in and not feel hungry. Fourth thing I did is master sleep hygiene. And this is important for me because I was in the really bad habit of staying up way too late watching my favorite show on Netflix or Apple TV. I've been really into slow horses lately. And screens right before bed is just a terrible call. The blue light, it screws with your sleep cycles. I'm not going to get into the whole science of it here, but basically, the first thing I did to master my sleep is no screens at all, including my phone, 1 to 2 hours before bed. I'd say one is the minimum, but most days are probably 2 hours of no screens before bed, and I'm just reading instead. The second piece with it is I'm making sure I'm going to bed at the same time and waking at the same time every day, including weekends. Now, I'm not perfect with this. Like, I definitely sleep in a little bit longer on the weekends, but I'm typically in bed, lights out, 10:15, 10:30, and I'm waking up. I need a lot of sleep. I'm waking up at either 7 to 7:30 on weekdays or 7:30 to 8 on weekends. So my sleep isn't going all over the place feeling tired. My energy levels are a lot better because of that, which makes it easier to get my workouts in. You can start to see how all these things are intertwined. If I'm snacking less, I have more energy. If I'm sleeping better, I have more energy. If I have more work energy, I'm doing better workouts. If I'm doing better workouts, I'm feeling good about my progress. It's like a feed forward cycle. The fifth thing I did to lose this fat with almost no effort is I tracked my progress. So I just use it in a notebook and I just write down every day if I did the habits that I just mentioned or not. Did I work out? Did I get my protein in? Did I get my meals in? Did I get my sleep in? And I just do a little check mark for each day I'm doing it. Super simple, not complicated, but I just have a way of tracking it so I can see my progress. And the key here is I'm focusing on the process, not the outcomes. So what I mean by that is I'm tracking, did I do the thing, not did the thing I do work. I only weigh myself once every week to 10 days. It's super inconsistent, but I'm not focused on the outcome. I'm focused on doing the things that are good for me as a human. And I know that the outcomes will come. In this case, I lost just over a pound a week with almost no effort. So you can do these same things too. They are almost effortless. Of course, it takes some effort to get your workout in and some effort to meal prep. But if you're already exercising consistently, you can make a few changes to that. You got to eat and you got to cook, so you might as well meal prep. And honestly, having a smoothie in the morning is like 2 minutes to make the whole thing. It couldn't be easier to get all this in. So again, the 5 things I did: one, full body strength training 3 days a week; two, increase my protein with protein centric meals and Lean Strong Fitness protein shakes; three, reduce my calories with meal prep and carb cycling; four, mastered my sleep, which is honestly probably the biggest one for most of us. If you're tired, everything sucks and that's no fun. And five, I track my progress, just like everybody should. What's get measured gets managed, and make sure you're tracking the process, not just the outcome. Hope this helps, and onwards and upwards. Talk to you soon.